Hey, please check out our Central Indiana Scoreboard show. It's very similar to the ESPN Radio Sports Center style of podcast, but it features the Pacers, Fever, Colts, IU, Purdue, IndyCar, and high school sports in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Hamilton, Hancock, Henry, Howard, Huntington, Jay, Madison, Miami, Tipton, and Wabash counties, and a few other schools in the Hoosier Heartland, Hoosier Heritage, Three Rivers, Mid-Eastern, and Hoosier Crossroads conferences. For your daily audio sports section, please tune in daily to the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show. What you're listening to now is the NBA Playoffs Report with John Robertson, podcast number 278.4. With guest Will Retherford, John, Will, and I talked about the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals and where your Indiana Pacers stand in the race as their odds continue to get better and better for winning the NBA title for the first time in franchise history.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, NBA fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report. We are here for the NBA Playoffs Report with John Robertson, and joining us, along with John, of course, on Riverside, is Will Retherford, our pro sports guy, to give their opinions on what's going on in the NBA playoffs. And, of course, we're going to start with the Thunder's 128-126 win in Minnesota to take a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals, as I think most of us expected. And, John, getting close.
I know. Well, I still need the Pacers to come through on that one, too, though.
I know.
I got to get Pacers and OKC, but I think OKC's got this one wrapped up. I really do. Like, the fact that the Timberwolves were in it as long as they were with Anthony Edwards playing as bad as he played for the first half is actually kind of surprising. Like, they stepped up around him to try and keep him in it, but it wasn't enough. The end was close, which was exciting, but, like, I mean, OKC first half was just too good, and Anthony Edwards did nothing.
Welcome, Will. Can Minnesota win Game 5 and keep this thing alive for a little while longer?
They might be able to win Game 5. I don't know. It's going to be tough, probably going back to Oklahoma City. This series always kind of felt like if OKC just kind of plays the status quo, they're probably going to win this in 5 or 6. I never really thought 7 was attainable. Minnesota's overachieved for the most part, and I'd hate to say it, but everybody talked about the Wild Wild West. That has not been a very good just conference, I don't think, in the playoffs. I don't think any of those playoff series have really been very fun or entertaining at all. So I don't see Minnesota getting back into it.
It might go 6, but I think it's over. That's it. I think that there's a chance they could delay it if they come out and play hard, but it's over.
I've been saying all along that there are no superstars left in the NBA playoffs, and I mean that. There are a lot of really good players. My standard for superstar is if you told my wife, hey, tell me about this player, she could do it because she's kind of a passive sports fan. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, she could name all those. There's nobody left in the playoffs except for that she's a Pacers fan who you would consider a superstar, which is quite a shift in how things have always been, because it's always been the rule that you have to have a superstar to win a championship. But that having been said, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best scorer in basketball right now.
You know what? That is debatable, I think. If I had to pick people to go get me a bucket in a must-win game, he wouldn't be my first pick. But as far as who's left, yes, he's the best scorer left. And I think Brunson's right there with them. I think if Brunson puts his head down and decides he wants to go get a bucket, he is just as skilled as Shai is. Maybe that's another night for a longer debate, but he wouldn't be my first choice of like best scorer in the league, I don't think.
Off the top of my head, I'm taking SGA. If I can't have Jokic. I mean,
and even it's just a pure score. I might even take SGA. He can just initiate so much. That's probably underselling Jokic, isn't it? He's just.
Jokic has 40-point nights, and then his bad nights 25, 26. So,
and SGA just doesn't. He does not have bad scoring nights. He did a little bit in Game 3. I understand that they're not all 40-point nights, but he just does not have many off nights.
I still think that, like, I want Kevin Durant to go get me a bucket. Like, I want that 3 level of scoring. Maybe it's the generation of me talking, but like if I needed, hey, somebody absolutely like go get me a bucket to win a game, like I'm still taking.
I'll buy Steph Curry. I'll buy Steph Curry for sure.
I would take Steph Curry.
I would take Kevin Durant in his prime. I wouldn't take current Kevin Durant.
Maybe. I mean, and that might be right. I don't know. I'm kind of in the SGA is he's great. We have if there's no superstars left, we're like the next tier below superstar. Like if superstars won, there's 4 1Bs left in this. Right.
We have high level stars left, and we have no superstars. Here's another thing that I heard that was very interesting. Of the top 30 players in the NBA who have the highest social media profiles, none of them are left in the NBA playoffs. How's that for an interesting stat?
It's because the people are staying off social media and putting in work are still in the tournament.
That's right. And I'm proud of the Pacers that none of them are in the top 30 in social media footprint.
Yeah, I mean, and as somebody that has grown up in this social media era, Tyrese Halliburton he's phenomenal social media. He's actually, like, if there's a follow to have, he would be who I would follow. I'm uber biased, I get it, but like he has good content. Like he has good.
Yeah, but he doesn't spend a ton of time on it.
He doesn't. Playoffs, he's been non-existent, but like his tweet that he did, like when you do no work on a project and still get an A with the Olympics. I mean, that is like one of the best tweets ever. I mean, like
absolutely.
How well has he been doing with the media as far as like interviews and stuff too? Like they wanted to push the narrative of his dad, and he handled that, I would say, perfectly. And
absolutely.
He's owned when they're like, when things haven't been going well, he owns when he's not playing well. I love that. Like, media training must be really good at Pacers Sports Entertainment because Tyrese is doing great and Caitlin's doing great. So,
I mean, I think that the mark of we're seeing him develop into a man. I mean, you're seeing him. I feel like to publicly have to basically denounce and question what your dad did in a confrontation is like that's. I wouldn't want to do that if it was in a store, if it was in Dollar General, and like let alone do it in front of the entire world. I mean, that's maturity, that is leadership, that is everything that you want in an athlete. I think leading your franchise,
and he did it so well. He kind of said it was a non-story while addressing it. And I think that was the perfect way to say, look, this is just kind of a non-story, but the truth is he shouldn't have been doing that. And that's exactly right. He got it exactly right. Don't hide from it. Just come out and say what you think. And he really handled it perfectly. More mature than his father. Well, here is what I came to say tonight is for the first time, since 2005, maybe. I really believe the Pacers are about to win a championship. I've been watching this Oklahoma City Thunder team, and they're good, but they are not close to unbeatable. I really like the matchup for the Pacers in 7 games. I think it would take 7. But for the first time, I'm leaning toward, I believe I would take the Pacers, probably not as odds-on favorites, probably not better than even odds, but I would take them over anybody else in the playoffs right now to win the title.
I mean, I took that bet back in April 5th, so I'm with you on it. I think they're going to bounce.
I just got here.
What I was just saying, yeah,
I just arrived.
Yeah, I'm glad you like. It's interesting that you arrived now after probably their worst blow up of the playoffs. Probably worst blow up maybe of the season that I can remember. But like, I do think they'll bounce back.
The game 3 against Cavs was much worse and had me much more concerned than this did. I think this is an easy adjustment to make, and they're going to make it, and they're going to win game 4.
I just worry about like game 3 against the Cavs. You get stomped the whole time. Okay, you had a bad game. This one, everyone was dancing and cheering in the crowd in the aisles, and the game was over, and then they lost. That's a really hard turnaround. That's a real hard emotional hit. So it's how they manage that, come back ready to work for game 4.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that prior to John's arrival on the show as being a guest and having this, I've been, I would say, saying the Pacers are championship contenders, even when Greg and Michelle told me that I was crazy. I mean, at the beginning of the year when they were scuffling, I said, this team is good. They're great. They're going to figure it out. I have all the faith. I said this past week on 5 questions that I thought that if the Pacers win this series, that they're going to win the finals. I still firmly believe that. I think the champion's coming from the East. I don't think Oklahoma City's beating the Knicks, to be honest with you. I think that the Knicks are, probably an easier matchup for OKC, but OKC they look awful beatable, and they look moldable, and they look like you can kind of make them play to your style of basketball. The fact that Minnesota had a chance in this game, I wouldn't say that Oklahoma City, they never had a great answer for Minnesota the whole game. They always answered, and when it got to a 3 or 4 point game, they stretch it to 7, 8, 9, but it felt like they just have kind of let the T-Wolves linger. And they're not taking them out to the barn. They're letting them linger.
Well, you guys can get your money where your mouth is. It's 6-1. If you want to bet the Pacers right now, 6-1 on NBA championships.
If I bet it, it won't happen.
Okay, well, don't bet it then. I'm just telling you, like 6-1's your current odds. Knicks are at 11-1. Timberwolves just hit 41-1 against. So
6-1 is pretty darn good, man. Especially, Will, you're absolutely right. Even going into the Cavaliers series, if you told me the Pacers were going to win a championship, I would have told you are out of your freaking mind. And here we are.
Yeah, I think that they have to come back. They have to answer. I think that the morale, if they somehow lose tomorrow night and it's 2-2 going back to New York, it's going to be panic. People will panic. I'm not sure that I'm ready to panic for it yet, because I think it still has a really strong chance to go 7. But they need to win tomorrow night. They needed to win. They needed to win last night, and they let a game go that they really had no business letting go. But it makes game 4 a must win. I feel like you have to think that the Pacers now, it's a must win for them.
Well, it's what we said in the Cavs series, too. We basically said whoever wins game 4 wins the series, and I feel like it's the same situation in this one.
I don't. I think if the Pacers lose game 4, they could very easily win games 5 and 6 in this series. I can see momentum swinging back and forth, but I do think it's a huge game. Huge, huge game. More like whoever wins this game, I give a 75% chance to win the series than 100, which is what I felt like with that Cavs series. Whoever won that game 4, I was convinced was winning that series.
They need Nesmith to be good. I felt last night, I'll say it again, I feel like Nesmith being good to go with 4 minutes left in the game, and he's on the bench. Why is he not good to go with 8? Like, it just felt like that they were just slow to react to everything.
He probably got a shot in his ankle, and it took some time to work.
Maybe, but then don't bring him on the bench until he's ready to go. I don't think that's a good visual. I think it makes people question, like, why is Carlisle sitting on his hands when he has the answer? I thought the starters in general sat way too long going into the fourth quarter. It just felt like that they let that game kind of slip through their hands.
It really did.
Like, it was just in a way that I'm not saying that them putting the starters in, and John, you could respond to this on what you think. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it makes the visual look better. The 2 extra minutes of rest Tyrese got aren't going to make a damn bit of difference in Game 4. They needed to win Game 3 when they had a chance.
No, I 100% agree with all that. I think that what really happened or how it looks is, at the beginning they were playing to win the game. First half they're playing to win. Second half they're playing not to lose. And Rick let the starters and the difference makers sit a little too long because he was like, well, we'll come out of this. We'll stop this run, and it'll be fine. And it just never stopped. And then by the time you're like panic mode, you've already like lost all momentum and the game's out of control. So they just got to play to win the entire 4 quarters, not just play to hold on.
Halliburton and Siakam have to attack the basket. That's going to be the key. If Siakam plays like he did in Game 2, I don't believe the Knicks can beat the Pacers. I think Siakam is the key.
And back to Halliburton for a second. Like, here's one thing I hate to say about him because I love the guy, but like when he's playing cocky and playing with a swagger and doing his no-look passes and stuff, the Pacers are crushing it. When he starts to panic even a little bit, the play starts to fall apart and it looks more frantic and like there's lots of opportunities for the other team to like capitalize. So he needs to play competent, confident, and cocky the whole game.
Yeah.
It goes from looking frantic in a good way to frantic in a bad way.
Yeah, and I think it rubs off. I thought their shot selection there the last, I don't know, let's say 5 minutes was really bad. And it started with Turner. His shot selection was really just not smart. It wasn't veteran. It wasn't, hey, here's our 10-year leader, longest tenured pacer, and we're just going to go huck threes up when we're. It just didn't feel. It felt like to John's point that when Tyrese got a little frantic with the ball, that everybody else saw that of now we have to play frantic, and they took shots early. They settled for bad shots early in the shot clock. It just felt sloppy. I think is the best word.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. So they just got to play with the swagger the whole time, and they'll be fine. Like that, honestly, I really do think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to win tomorrow. But just play.
Quick prediction score tomorrow night.
Score? Pacers by. I'm thinking 3. Pacers by 3.
I don't know if there's been a game that's been decided by more than like 5 points, so give me 5. I think somewhere in that ballpark.
Give me Pacers by 11. I think they pull away late to win the game late, and give me Pacers by 11. I'm feeling confident. In this whole thing for the first time. And last thing, guys, before we go, incredible Central Indiana sports weekend, of course, capped off by Memorial Day. And, of course, we don't have this weekend without Memorial Day. Your thoughts on the holiday?
I love the holiday in Indiana. I think it's been great. The fact that the Pacers were in it made it even more special. I love, tribute to all the military heroes and people that are out there protecting us, giving us the ability to enjoy Pacers basketball and the Indy 500. Like we wouldn't be able to go to the snake pit or get drunk if we didn't have that freedom that was provided to us. So I'm super appreciative of that, and I'll be very honest with you. One of my favorite moments of the broadcast of the race yesterday was the helicopter pace lap. That was unreal. I absolutely love that. So,
I mean, I think that it's so special. That freedom. All sports is in essence what you're able to share with others you love, who love the sports around you, and to be around family and even veterans and people that have experienced that life and have laid it all on the line for us to be able to have those moments with our dads and grandfathers and nieces, nephews, friends, whatever you want to say. I think it's so special. And in this state, that just means even more. The race and the Pacers are all about family and hospitality. And you're just so blessed that we have the opportunity to do that.
No place better in the world to be a sports fan, and no country better in the world to live Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. And man, this has been so much fun. John, when we decided to do this, I didn't expect the Pacers to be making a long run. I thought you and I would just be talking about the playoffs in general. And here we are. We have to talk about the Pacers every night. And it's been a lot of fun, guys.
I appreciate you having me, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Go Sirs.
Seriously, did not expect this year. I thought they were a year away from contending for a championship, especially with some of the issues they had throughout the season. But man, this run has been so much fun. And love talking basketball with John and Will and all the others as well. Thank you so much for listening. If you like our podcast, please share them with your friends and family and help spread the word about the Central Indiana Sports Report. And once again, please join us for the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show. I work really hard on that, and I'm a one-man crew. I'd appreciate it if you give it a try. Thank you in advance. Central Indiana Sports Report is brought to you by TG Media. And of course, I love Susie.